So there is a fantastic new company called Skiplagged, and of course they are being sued by the big boys, Orbitz and United. And why are they being sued? Let's take a look. So what Skiplagged does is they find cheap one-way fares by surfacing weird airline pricing strategies, like pricing a New York to San Francisco Lake Tahoe flight cheaper than a New York to San Francisco flight. So you book all the way through to Tahoe, debark at San Francisco, and walk away from the final leg. Okay, so this is pretty great. And we've done a bunch of stories on these new types of companies that are doing things a little bit differently, away from the big boys like Tesla, Airbnb, Uber, things that people love. And then, of course, the lobbyists and the big companies sue them and fight with them and all that stuff. So this is pretty great, and it was done by a 22-year-old kid. He created this thing. He's now being sued for $75,000. Let's take a look at the lawsuit. So in the lawsuit, United and Orbitz called Skiplagged unfair competition and alleged that it's promoting strictly prohibited travel. They want to recoup $75,000 in lost revenue. Okay, so the $75,000 is nothing. But this is just the worst of the worst. This is somebody figuring out something cool. I mean, it's exactly what's happening with Uber and Tesla and Airbnb in all these cities. Somebody figuring out a way around the system to help the marketplace, help the common person. And what happens? The big boys come in.
Yeah.
Give me something. Make me feel good about this.
I want to change my vote and make this guy the most admired man of the year for me. He's my hero.
Yeah,
Forget
and that's a route that you might fly every now and then.
Firefighters or Ebola doctors or whatever. No.
Yeah.
This guy is my hero for taking down the airlines. And I love that, their idea, what we got to do? We got to quell this. We got to quash it, before it gets too big. So we'll sue him, and then there'll be news stories about it everywhere. They'll be talking about it on the internet, and his site is down now because he can't keep up with all the traffic. Yeah. So, genius.
Right, okay, so let's just talk about the lawsuit for a second, because that's the stupidest part. So let's just get it out of the way as a former lawyer. So $75,000, they're suing him for nothing just to scare him, right? That's just to scare him, but in actuality, they're doing exactly what you're saying. I hadn't heard about this until the lawsuit.
When you sue someone for unfair competition, that's just basically a catch-all phrase to just say, like, I don't like what you're doing. I'm going to sue you for it. There's no specific cause. I'm just going to sue you, right? And unfair competition is very broad, so you can't get thrown out of court. So it could go to trial. And the problem with going to trial is it costs a ton of money. There's no way this kid can possibly afford going to trial and fighting this and winning.
Yeah, he's literally a 22-year-old who did this in his apartment in New York. But also, look, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but to say unfair competition, he's not creating a business that's competing with them. He's just creating sort of a way around.
He's just providing information.
He's just that's all he's doing.
And the airlines are like, how dare you inform our customers about different pricing strategies? That is outrageous.
Right.
But I've always wondered about this, because you would book a flight. You'd be looking for a flight from New York, San Francisco, and then you look at another flight that you go to LA, and it goes through San Francisco, but the LA flight is cheaper. Yeah. You're like, what the hell is going on here? And the airlines, I don't know why they are so, they want to continue with this sort of pricing strategy, because I guess the idea is we're going to try. The ideal situation is you have a full flight where no two people pay the same amount. That's like the harmonic convergence for an airline.
Yeah.
But and if they want to come out and explain to the American public why it's to our benefit that nobody can know where their prices come from and how they come or arrive at them, I'd like them to make that argument in court.
So is that what this is really about? That the airlines want to keep us all in this constant state of having no idea what a price is ever supposed to be, or how early you're supposed to book, or how they arrive at, or anything? I just booked a flight for April from LA to New York, and I think I got a pretty decent price. But I just kept thinking, well, why should I wait longer? There is no rhyme or reason to it, right?
The problem is that airline prices are too cheap, okay? And it's too cheap in the sense that airlines can't make any money. They're losing money all the time. So the good thing is that they're affordable, so most people can afford to travel by air. Maybe not internationally, but domestically they can. The downside is that you have shitty service, and the workers get paid crap. Yep. And you have to make sacrifices constantly. And one of the ways the airlines make more money is to gouge people for first-class tickets who can afford to pay it, and to have these weird, mysterious pricing structures. But they're not even that weird or mysterious, because it's really Southwest. Southwest sets the price. Whatever price they're at, all other airlines follow it and maybe hike it up by like $2. Or they do tricky things like, we're not going to, it's cheaper than Southwest. However, we're going to charge you for for bringing anything on the airplane or charging you whatever for drinks and a massive change fee if you have to change anything. So there's all these little games they play to make money, and they actually make money on those fees. Without those fees, they'll be massively in the red.
Right.
So that's part of the problem. And what this kid has done is he lifted that layer so you can see underneath it and see what's really happening and can make informed choices. And the airlines, they don't want you to make informed choices because that means you save money and pay less, which means they lose even more money.
Yeah, their margins are very tight, obviously.
Yeah.
And the fact that they, if you need to go somewhere this week and you have to book that late, then they're gonna gouge you, and there's nothing you can do about it because they all do it.
So is that why no airline has ever come out with a flat rate thing? That they're just flat rate to these cities no matter what? Because I would love that idea. Like even if sometimes you're paying a little bit more, just the idea you don't have to deal with all the nonsense and go to all the sites.
Like Saturn pricing strategy,
Yeah.
where it's like instead of
or buses, right? If you want to take a bus from here to Las Vegas, it's the same price.
Yeah.
I mean, it's posted. You don't have to do a search for that particular day. It's just posted.
Right. So do we need an Airbnb or Uber of airlines, right? Like, is that the only way to ever sort of fix this or get it to a more sensible rate? I don't know who's going to be flying these things because a lot of people, there aren't as many airplane owners as car owners, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
I want my air travel to be regulated and safe, and I want it
You
to
don't
pay a
want just
little
the guy with the plane at the corner of the block? You don't want that guy? All right, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like the idea you're at the airport and you're like, is this my plane? Is this Hamid?
What do you think? What can we do to get airline prices down? Subscribe and comment down below.